Hello, gorgeous Sagittarius, and welcome to our June 2021 reading. I am needing a moment with my Sagittarius people because it has just been a really intense few weeks for me personally. And I don't know, tapping into Sag energy, my own personal Sag rising energy, and also like this community of people and your energy is so therapeutic for me, really, really helpful. And we're just gonna have a cozy chat. This is a really interesting month for Saggies, I think. I mean, it's just an interesting month in general. I'm getting close to the end of doing these readings, and there's this theme of internal honesty and integrity that is so loud and clear. And part of that is we're having this Mercury retrograde in Gemini, which turns all that mercurial questioning and thinking inward and really gives us this opportunity to notice our self-talk, notice our mythologies, notice how we are integrating and speaking and writing our story. So it's really powerful. And for you guys too, this is all this energy in Gemini, your opposing sign. It's like you're very wrapped up personally in eclipse season, in Mercury retrograde being in your opposing sign, the sun moving through your opposing sign. And there's this second eclipses. We had the first one in your sign at the end of May, and now we're having the second eclipse in your opposing sign of Gemini, solar eclipse on the 10th. So there's this really amplified sense of that mirror season, right? Where we look at where we've grown and how we've changed since Sag season, which when I think about being in Sag season to where we are now, it's just kind of like, whoa, it has been a really profound 6 months. And what an important time to incorporate and just like hear how that feels to be here now. Who are we now after all of this, right? And I think the Gemini season in general is asking that question. It's going to be definitely asking that question of you. And of course, you can look at Gemini energy and all this energy in Gemini as about relationships, and of course, like how we relate to others, how we take care of our relationships, what kind of relationships we want, how do we want to heal how we do relationships. Those questions can all come up as well. But I think, relationships are another, like one of the most potent ways for us to understand ourselves. So in the end, it really is just about really looking at ourselves and where we're closed off, where we're open, where we're feeling detached from ourselves, and where we're feeling big and open and voluminous. Now, that's not all for Saggies, because it's also the energy is going to be moving through Cancer as well. Like Venus moves through Cancer all of this month. The sun will move into Cancer around the solstice on the 21st. So we're starting to work with 8th house energy as well, which is all about transformation. So Cancer season for Saggies is going to be a time of shedding a skin and getting in touch with who you're becoming next in this next season of life. So all of June is really about that. And not only that, we also have Neptune and Jupiter starting their retrograde. So a lot of outer planets in retrograde by the time we get to the end of June, which is how this goes. But that energy is also about reviewing your internal self-mothering system. So I've got a lot of themes going on this month for you all. And I was thinking about it because it is about new perspectives, new ways of seeing. There's a lot of just kind of like refreshing our vision, kind of giving our internal eye a good wash. And just reconnecting. I mean, more than anything, just reconnecting with our deeper truth. And I was thinking about this because so often the experience of being in this world in a body is related to video games and like virtual reality. And I mean, I get the idea behind that, but I guess it's not my favorite metaphor for it, because there's kind of this cold, calculating game playing kind of feel to it. And I get that, like it can be fun, like playing a game, but I think it kind of leaves out like the soft, warm heart of what's going on. Like it's not just, we're just floating around playing this game and how good can we get at playing the game. Ooh, gosh, that like gives me chills, honestly. I don't like that phrasing. Sorry, that's my personal taste, like We all have our ways of seeing, right? But I do want us to focus, and I think June, it's important to focus on the warm heart center at the heart of anything that we may be doing, because it doesn't really work in the way that it works beyond any like wins, losses, doing well at the game, doing poorly at the game, all of that. It so supersedes and overarches all of that, and that is where I want us to go. To that radiant, luminous, joyful, deep, warm, cozy place inside. 5 of Cups. Ooh, all right. I like that. 5 of Cups is one of those energies for me. It's a bridge building energy. Allows us to grieve, to release, to acknowledge, recognize where we've grown, how we've changed shape. We need that sacred moment. We need that sacred moment before we turn and we start crossing the next bridge into the next phase. 2 of Pentacles. A lot of 2s have been showing up in the readings for June, and there's kind of this question, how do we make decisions? You know, what is the criteria for the choices we make? Is it to not rock the boat? Is it to keep everybody happy? Is it to keep some 2 of Swords as I'm speaking? Is it to make some version of ourselves that we haven't? Is it to fulfill that version of ourselves that we think we need to keep upholding? There's a lot of questions like this floating around, and that's why I'm saying it's so important we get back to the warm heart center of all of this, right? Because we can analyze, think about, you know, all the ways we want to perform or not perform, or put it down, or make decisions or not make decisions. If we don't listen from that warm heart center, all of this is exhausting. And the Star, I love it. Oh my gosh, Saggies, what a month. What a month. Yeah, so we want to go back there every time this month. Every time. That's got to be the priority. And let's just talk through these cards because it's powerful stuff. 5 of Cups, like I said, this is such an important sacred card. It comes in so many different forms too. Yes, it can be about like a big grief, but this I think also reflects the small griefs we have, or the griefs that we have when we are acknowledging we have changed. We are acknowledging we are entering a new phase in life. We are acknowledging how we've grown. It's important to take the time to just feel, to acknowledge that gateway and that change and that shift. It doesn't mean it defines you. It doesn't mean it's the rest of this month. In fact, as we'll see, this month expands into some really big, beautiful new territory. But I do think like in order to grow, we need to like go retract in a little bit, feel our feelings, rest, and come back out that much more amplified, that much more full of that radiant, glowing light. You know, when I think about Sag energy, there's this radiance with it. There's this powerful sense of like luminosity. It comes from this warm center. And it's important though to balance that out with taking care of feeling all the emotions, allowing deeper things to come up and out and be released, right? So there's something going on there. And like I said, you know, Gemini season is going to be a time of incorporation. It's going to be a time of incorporating how we've changed, of new perspectives and new ways of seeing, especially for Sages. And this is just a time of skin shedding for you all. This is just a time of getting familiar and acquainted with who you are now. Now we have these 2s, and I was telling you about this, like the 2s are very popular this month. And there's this thing going on with how we make decisions. And, you know, decision making is exhausting, even small decision making, right? Like what I should have for lunch, what time should I get up? Should I take this way home or that way home? We're making decisions all the time. And these 2s kind of offer up the question of like, where are we making those decisions from? And are we listening to our body to get good information? Are we taking that moment to get quiet? Really hear what's true for us? Are we making decisions based on trying to keep everybody happy, trying to keep the boat in alignment with everybody? Are we trying to juggle everything so that we please everyone, so we share our luminosity with everybody? And so on the one hand, the Two of Pentacles is saying you can't please everybody. So just take that off the plate as a way to make decisions. And the Two of Swords says we can make decisions when we stop trying to move all the time. We stop trying to be active and on it and making things happen constantly. And it doesn't mean you have to take like 12 hours out of your day and live on a mountaintop. It means taking 5 minutes when you're feeling frazzled, when you're feeling flustered, when you're feeling like you need to be in control and you need to be active and you need to be earning your keep in this world and being the most luminous light bulb in the world. Take 5 minutes, take 2 minutes, breathe, sit quiet. What is true? So these two cards are about, there's no more people pleasing, because you can't please everybody, ever. And are you taking those breaths to hear your true soul song when you're starting to get anxious or you're wanting to control? These two skill sets alone, I think, are huge. I need check-ins with this all the time. And they're so helpful. It makes life so much easier when we just remember these two. Now, here's the thing. With the incorporation we saw with the Five of Cups, with the dropping the people-pleasing and the listening into our heart center to make our decisions, both large and small, the star arrives. And isn't this just the truth? I think it seems really intimidating at first to feel your feelings in the Five of Cups, listen in and hear your truth. We think, oh my God, if I start doing that, like what is going to come up? What am I going to have to address and fix? It seems really intimidating. The thing is, once we're in there, it's so natural to us because it's us. We're hearing ourselves, our true selves, our true, warm, gorgeous, loving, cozy, playful, curious, flexible, dynamic selves give us all the information we need. Once we start doing it, things get easier, right? And the answers and the path are there. You know, the star is about that luminous quality that I was saying, you know, that really animated source of love that's superseding, overarching throughout everything, no matter what metaphors you use to talk about reality or mindfulness or awareness, right? The star to me is the healing energy, that playful love energy that is all of those things. And it's also clarity. It's also pathways forward. It's also open doors. It's also all those things. Like if you're longing for something at the beginning of June, you're longing for an answer to come through on something you don't know about. You are longing for maybe a release from grieving. If you're somebody like me, there's been a lot of grieving the first part of this year. Not just grieving. Like, I'm very happy. There's so many good things, but yes. And you were just ready for a season of life that's maybe a little lighter, a little happier. Like if you're wondering what the next step is in your path to creativity or work or any of those things, I think this month offers a way to that greater clarity, to those answers, to that support. And it really is just as simple as those first 3 steps. These cards that we so often demonize, you know, Five of Pentacles and these twos, where, oh no, to me, these are just tools. They're very, very simple tools. Notice your feelings, grieve what has shed away. Stop trying to please everybody and wear every hat. Listen to your soul song. And do those as micro practices. I'm all about micro practices. They don't have to be, okay, this Saturday is going to be the day I'm going to feel all my emotions and I'm going to journal myself into alignment. Let yourself have that 5 minutes to feel a feeling about something. Give yourself that 2 minutes to breathe and notice how you're making a decision. Notice when you have a compulsion and a knot in your stomach that's saying, I have to get this done this way because you feel you have to wear every hat. These things are the gateway to get here, to have this with you always. And I think this month is just giving us a really, really clear indicator of that. I love this. I love this. I think this isn't even necessarily chronological. I think this is like something that can happen, these little cycles over and over again throughout the month of June. You may be finding that you do this check-in process with yourself and you get that hit of clarity. And you all know what this feels like. You all know what this feels like when you're like, oh, I do know the answer. Wow, that just feels so relieving to just say what I really mean to myself. You know that feeling of like peace and calm that comes when you're following what's really true. And like I said, it's all about all of these, I think, lenses are about us listening to that deeper, cozy, wise, playful, curious voice. And if you're anything like me, there have been times where I felt distanced from it this year, and coming back to it is such a rush of joy and excitement. And we are going to keep practicing that as humans. We're going to have times where we don't feel connected to it and times where we feel deeply connected to it. And that is natural. But I think what's so cool about this reading is that it's like this little roadmap of how to do that. So with that being said, I hope this month of calibration and listening in and heart medicine treats you so well, Sagittarius. I hope that you take really good care of yourself and enjoy the solstice. Be gentle during the eclipse. Give yourself that time when you can. Don't wear every hat. I am so looking forward to offering a ton of extra support on Patreon. So if you're looking for more guidance in a beautiful community of people, it's a really great place to connect with me and others who are also seeking and searching and wanting to have interesting conversations. You can also find me on my website and my Instagram. I'd love to see you in all those places. And you can find PinkLune's gorgeous jewelry on her Etsy shop. I love you guys so much, really. And I will see you all so soon.